Hey yo, we back with another one. Hey yo, this one right here is bananas. 1090J actually got called out by Ynw Bortlen's lawyer. Yo, this shit is getting wikito. Don't let this shit go over your head. I don't know. This shit is looking crazy. Now, we know that son took the deal or whatever the case may be. But in this video, yo, this shit get broke down so crazy and wicked, it scrambles your mental. Hey, yo, remember, we ain't asking for no money on. Only thing we ask for y'all to do is hit that button. Hey, yo, hit that like, because I'm about to take y'all on a hike. And if y'all 10 toes down, hit that notification bell so you can always stick around. Hey, yo, before we jump into everything, right? Yo, I just want to give y'all a reminder. Yo, don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can get up in the algorithm. Hey, yo, this one right here that I'm bringing y'all, I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind. Hey, yo, don't let none of this shit go over your head. I hope y'all really paying attention, you heard? But without further ado, let's get into the content.
Just after letting Bortlen know everything that came with the plea, the judge would highlight the fact that after the plea is made, the state wants to take a proffer from Bortlen. An immediate flag on the play, a proffer is defined under Florida law as an agreement to speak with prosecutors to share information. This would lead everyone from Say Cheese, academics, No Jumper, my fucking self, and even Melly's old lawyer Bradford Cohen to assume the worst. Bortlen was now going to snitch on Melly.
All right, let's talk Ynw Melly and Ynw Bortlen. He is now doing the triple Lindy. For those youngsters that don't know what the triple Lindy is, it is when you do several flips off a high dive, and he will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double murder case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in the prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3 years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on Ynw Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that Ynw Melly is responsible. But depending on what he says, it will make the Ynw Melly case a lot more difficult to try. But still not impossible. I've had cases where there were flipping witnesses where, I had a federal case with several flipping witnesses where we still got a not guilty. And it's possible to still get a not guilty in this case. Obviously, it's going to make it a lot more difficult. He has an excellent lawyer, by the way, Fred Haddad, who's a friend of mine. And I know Fred would have done a very good job for him at trial, but ultimately, it is an individual's decision whether or not to become Chuck E. Cheese. And in this case, he has become Chuck E. Cheese. Is Chuck E. Cheese a mouse or a rat? I'm not sure. But long story short is he will be flipping, and it's going to make the case against Ynw Melly a lot more difficult to win.
See, now, it was crazy that the lawyer is saying this, right? Don't let this shit go over your head. Yo, make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all like the content so we can get up in the algorithm. Yo, it's crazy how this shit about to take a twist. And Bortlen lawyer is gonna call out 1090 Jake. And yo, Byron Blake is about to eat this shit up right here. Let's get back into the content.
Now, as a man, I always leave room to stand corrected in any situation. And I have to give a shout out to my boy Seti Nash for his thorough journalism in this case. Bortlen's main lawyer, Fred Haddad, would release a statement saying, "I don't represent snitches. Cortland Henry is not a snitch, and he will not be cooperating or testifying in Ynw Melly's trial. Anyone who claims differently has not seen the plea deal and has no idea what they're talking about." Well, in my humble opinion, what the fuck else would a proffer be other than the snitch? Why would the state want to sit down with Bortlen if he wasn't obligated by the plea deal to cooperate against the main man they believe is the shooter? Why would Bortlen's sentence go from 5 life sentences plus 75 to only serving 7 years in prison? What else would they have to talk about when the only thing left to do in the case is convict Melly? Even the judge would tell Bortlen in court, "I don't know how your lawyers pulled this off." Well, I reached out to Bortlen's other lawyer, Joe Nascimento, who further clarified Bortlen has not agreed to testify and will not provide any statement implicating Melly or anyone else. This plea agreement brings closure to Bortlen's cases and will be the last time he appears in a courtroom.
Yo, I'm telling y'all right now, Byron Blake about to eat this shit up right here. Don't let this shit go over your head. Yo, why the fuck did he say, yo, 1090 Jake? Why? Yo, why did this nigga call out 1090 Jake? Why? Yo, what is going on right now? Yo, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share the content, comment on the content so we can get up in the algorithm. Yo, check this shit out right here. This crazy.
Hey, 1090 Jake. Thanks for giving me the chance to clear up a lot of the confusion and just chaos that's happening online right now after Ynw Bortlen's plea this afternoon went viral on social media. It's clear that a lot of people just don't understand what has happened. So I want to start by talking about what he was charged with. He was facing 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of accessory after the fact of first-degree murder, tampering with a witness, conspiracy to tamper with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal gang, and utilization of a two-way communication device to commit a felony. In all, he was facing 5 mandatory life sentences if found guilty, plus an additional 75 years on top of that. And the facts of his plea are that he has pled no contest. That's very important because that means he has not admitted guilt. He's not admitted that he's done anything wrong, and he's certainly not admitted or given information about anybody else. He's been found guilty, but in exchange, the state has dismissed the 2 murder counts, the conspiracy to tamper with a witness count, and the charge about directing the activities of a criminal gang. He's going to be sentenced to 10 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 6 years of probation with credit for time that he has served. And he's required, as a part of that, to sit down and give what's called a proffer. Typically, when you hear the word proffer, especially in a criminal case, it's when a witness offers information or will explain what they would testify to if called at trial or a hearing. It's unfortunate that we use that word today in court because...
Yo, I hope y'all listening to what this dude just said, right? I hope y'all listening to what this dude just said. Don't let this shit go over your head, you heard? Make sure y'all hit that like. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all share the content. Make sure y'all like the content. And make sure y'all comment on the content. This shit is getting out of hand. They trying to spin a narrative for this boy right now. I guess that would just is a part of the deal. Yo, let's get back into the shit. Listen to what Son's saying.
That's not what's going to happen in this case. Bortlen is not going to sit down and give a lengthy proffer or answer questions about what he would testify to if he were called as a witness, because we don't anticipate him being called as a witness at any trial or any hearing, especially not one involving MELLY. What I can tell you is that Bortlen is not going to implicate anybody else. He's not going to provide information against anybody else. MELLY's name is not even going to come out of his mouth when he's talking to prosecutors in this case.
Now, son don't say nothing about this shit right here, right? He is going to sit down. He just said it out of his mouth. He is going to tell something. But what is he going to tell? Does it have something to do with this case? Or does it have something to do with other cases? Don't let this shit go over your head. Let's get back into the content, though.
I anticipate the conversation with the prosecutors is going to be very, very brief. And it is not going to be what everyone thinks it's going to be online, where he sits down and rats or provides information to cooperate against other people. So a lot of people are saying that Bortlen's plea and his proffer are going to hurt MELLY in some way and affect his trial in the future. And again, that's absolutely untrue. Ynw Bortlen is not going to be a state witness. Ynw Bortlen is not going to provide information that's going to impact MELLY's trial in any way. Ynw Bortlen is not expected to come and provide information against anybody. So to be clear, his plea, his proffer, and anything surrounding it will have absolutely no impact on MELLY's trial.
Yo, every time he lie, his eyes blink mad times. That's real talk. I don't know if y'all paying attention like how I'm paying attention, but every time he lie, his eyes blink mad times. Hey, yo, hit that like, share the content, subscribe to the channel, comment on the content, like the content, so we can get up in the algorithm.
I want to add just a little bit more background to what's happened over the past couple weeks. Neither defense nor the state wanted this case to go to trial this month. We believe that our case should be stayed until after MELLY's appeals are resolved and his case is ready for trial, because our anticipation was that MELLY's case would be tried before Bortlen's. However, the judge denied our request for a continuance and denied our request to stay Bortlen's case pending MELLY's appeals. So we were moving forward to trial, and we knew that we had a very strong defense to the murder counts. But for Bortlen to be successful, he would have to beat every single count, keeping in mind that he was facing 5 mandatory life sentences. So for him to take a deal that he's almost already served at least half of the sentence already, he doesn't have to admit that he did anything wrong. He doesn't have to testify against anybody else. He doesn't have to provide information that would affect MELLY or anybody else about anything related to this case or any other case. It was a no-brainer for him to ensure that he gets to walk out of prison one day and live his life versus rolling the dice with a random jury, no matter how strong his defense is and how weak the case for the state was. So I'm really hoping that people can understand that and understand that it was a very tough decision for him, but it was very important to him that his decision have no impact on others.
So what the fuck did he take the years for then? If it's not for none of this, right? If it's not the snitch, if it's not nothing that got to do with MELLY, why the fuck did they give him a deal? What did you cop out to? What did you cop out to? That's the question. What did you cop out to? Real talk.
While we don't know what Bortlen will be saying in his proffer with the prosecutors, the judge made it clear whatever he says will have no effect on his plea deal. Meaning, he could apparently say anything, or not much of anything at all. Bortlen technically didn't beat the murders, the charges were dropped. So if he sat down and admitted to the murders, he would be recharged. And with that in mind, I wonder if Bortlen would be able to plead the 5th invoking his Fifth Amendment right, which guarantees no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Meaning Bortlen could potentially refuse to speak to keep himself from further incriminating himself. We won't know until it happens, and we'll have to wait until then to see what's actually said. Normally very vocal, Ynw Melly's mom has remained silent after Bortlen's plea, and she was present when it happened. No word has come from Melly's legal team, as he's now represented by legal powerhouse Drew Finley. And even Bradford Cohen, Melly's old lawyer, would backtrack from his initial statement about Bortlen.
Yo, this shit is crazy. Like, yo, nah, they gave this shit and they called out 1090 Jake so he could expose this shit for real. Cause I'm gonna keep it real. You gotta really pay attention. Don't let this shit go over your head. Yo, they really got on the first lawyer. Yo, they ruffled up his feathers. They got son shook. Yo, peep game. How he come and he bite the cheese now. Real talk.
All right, let's get to it. Let's talk Ynw Bortlen and Ynw Melly. The information is coming in fast and furious to my office. People are calling me left and right. They saw the post. You know what time it is. And they are telling me that Ynw Bortlen is not going to be a flipper, and he is not going to be the cheese eater I previously said that he could become. And he is going to give a statement. I don't know what that statement's going to be, but his attorney is an excellent attorney. He's one of my good friends and you know, really helped me out as a young attorney. Fred Haddad, a great guy. And he represented very, very few, if any, flippers in the past. That's why I was kind of surprised at first. But it turns out, the rumor on the street, Ynw Bortlen is not going to be a flipper, but he will give a proffer.
Yo, look. This is some crazy shit. Because the video ain't even finished yet, but now, 9 times out of 10, like I said in the last video, they know that son wasn't even there, right? So at the end of the day, what could he really snitch on that case if he wasn't there? Now, could he have took this plea deal because they had other shit on him that he knew was gonna sink him? Because I'm gonna keep it real. Whoever done got to these boys, they even got 1090 Jake scared. Real talk. They got 1090 Jake backpedaling. Yo, people, what he say? Make sure y'all like the content, subscribe to the channel so we get into the
So at this time, I, 1090 Jake, proudly stand corrected. And you know what? When Bortlen hits the DOC, I'll reach out to him personally with a, my bad, bro, but cut me a little bit of slack because everybody thought you told. You know what I'm saying? I had a co-defendant that took a proffer and he told everything on me. So when I heard proffer, I'm like, no, Melly's fried. But reaching out and speaking to his lawyer, Joe, who was present in the courtroom with him that day, you know, I'm not a lawyer at the end of the day. None of these guys on YouTube, from Act to Say Cheese to fucking Vlad to Adam22, none of us are lawyers. We've just dealt with so many similar situations that, yeah, we can make a judgment based on what we've already experienced before. We've never heard of a proffer going good. You know what I mean? Like, we've never heard of sitting down with the prosecutors and they're not snitching. But I stand corrected. And I'm proud to, because you know what? Bortlen has held on for 6, damn near 7 years without folding on his man's Melly. And the fact that he's taken this plea and apparently nothing is gonna affect Melly, that's some soldier shit, because he could have folded a long time ago. So like I said, we'll just have to wait and see when the proffer actually happens. I'm sure everyone's gonna request it. We're gonna see what's said, and then next up is gonna be Melly's trial.
Yo, this shit is so crazy because 1090 Jake backpedaled as well. This is very interesting. The first person to drop the story and to say that son wasn't gonna flip and he was gonna help Melly beat the case was Seti Nash. Now, 1090 Jake just said, oh, ain't none of us lawyers, but you made sure that you pointed out Seti Nash as the best journalist in the world. You made sure you pointed him out, but then made sure that everybody else, oh, we don't know what we be talking about, but you ain't say Seti Nash don't know what he be talking about. So, yo, don't let that shit go over your head, you heard? That's a fact of Mundo. Yo, remember, we ain't asking for no money, y'all. Only thing we ask for y'all to do is hit that button. Hey, yo, like, comment, subscribe, share the content so we could get up in the algorithm. Hey, yo, until next video, I'm going to catch y'all. Stay 10 toes down. And for all the newcomers, hey, yo, bring some boost because we going on a hike. And when we go, we go. No Other Way TV.